my channel. Meredith here again. So today I wanted to do my favorites of June. So I did this before where I did my favorites of May, and I really liked making it because it's kind of going to be a cool video to look back on in the future to see what I was kind of watching and doing then. So A, I'm making this for selfish reasons for myself, and B, I think it's really helpful. I watch a lot of these where I can kind of hear recommendations from somebody else and then kind of check them out myself, things that maybe I wouldn't have stumbled upon myself anyway. So kind of that's how I like kind of watch these videos and enjoy them. So I thought I'd make for June. June's my birthday month, so there's a lot of fun things that happened. It was a hard month, to be honest with you, but there was a lot of good things too, a lot of fun things that had happened this month. So overall, it was a good month. So one of the first things before I get really going, one of my first things was like one of my greatest birthday gifts, probably, that I've gotten in a long time. And it was from my nephew, Cameron. He gave me the ring light. So you can see this video has better lighting than ever. He gave me a ring light for my birthday. Now, yeah, it was the first like really birthday gift I've gotten from him. And so it was really, really sweet because he's just he's now a teenager. So he has a YouTube channel. So we've kind of gone into this together. Like he started and then I started. So we kind of talk about it a lot. And so he surprised me with the ring light, which is so, so nice and so helpful. So really appreciative of him. I'm going to put his YouTube channel down below so you can go check him out. His viewership, I would say, would be really good for like preteen to teenage kids. He has some funny videos, and so check him out and then let him know that I sent you. Say, Aunt Meredith sent me and I, watched your video or something like that. Because I think that'd be really funny to see all that he would love it. So, but yeah, shout out to Cameron with the ring light. It's going to be helping me for all my videos in the future. So that's one of my favorites. Another favorite thing is my favorite movie. My favorite movie I saw on Netflix, and I recently saw it. I think it was the day it came out because they put on the recommendations or whatever. And it's called Athlete A, and it's about the gymnasts in the USA Gymnastics, the women gymnasts, and all the controversy that happened over the abuse that has happened at their headquarters or their gyms, whatever. And you may have remembered it from the news like a few years ago. And so it kind of walks you through who Athlete A was and just the courage that these women had coming forward. So it's kind of set like a documentary style movie. So it's documentary, but it's movie length. I loved it. That's the kind of thing I love. I love women's gymnastics. I always have. I love watching it. And then I love documentaries, and then like kind of a hero story of this Athlete A that she came forward and all this stuff. So check that out. And really, really good. I loved it. And I recommended it to a few more people because I knew that they also like gymnastics and would find that interesting. So really good movie. My favorite TV show for June, of course, anything related to 90 Day Fiancé continues to be a favorite of mine. I watch them all. I love them. It's kind of an escape for me. And they're so unbelievably good. Like they're so ridiculous, but you love it and you root for some, and then some you're like, this is crazy, but it's such good TV. It's such good TV. But since I mentioned that in the last one, I kind of already mentioned it again. My favorite was actually a recommendation from my sister Heather, and it's called Waco, and it's on Netflix. And when I first jumped in and wasn't that too enthusiastic about it because it's a drama television show, but she kept saying it was really good and it's only 6 episodes. So I thought I'd give it a try. And as I'm watching, I'm like, did this actually happen? And it did. And then as I'm watching it, I'm going, I think I remember this. So I remember like my parents watching like it live or something, because there's parts where you just remember. Anyway, so it's about a religious group in Waco, Texas in like the early 90s that the FBI kind of came in because of information about child abuse or abuse that had been going on in the complex. It's like a big house. He calls it a house, but it's like a huge house. And it's one religious leader leading these people, and how the FBI is trying to negotiate them coming out. And then it follows the negotiator, and then it also follows the people inside. So you really get to see what happened on both sides. And it's upsetting. It's not like one that you're gonna walk away and go, I just feel great about things right now. No, it's gonna make you reassess like what you think about things. And like they're calling this religious group a cult, and like, but then they're saying don't call it a cult. And like, you know, so it kind of like how the FBI handled it, and like where do you stand on that? And so it kind of gives you something to ponder afterward. Like maybe we can learn from this experience as Americans and do better for the next time. But it is emotionally, it's upsetting, and it's hard to watch, but I really, really liked it. I thought that they did a good job as far as like, I know, like I don't really know the story, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It was definitely binge worthy. So I binged it. And I'm not a big binge. If I binge something, I know I like it because I don't sit in front of a TV that long. I just don't. So that's my favorite TV show. My favorite craft that I made. I made a couple things this month, but this one is probably my favorite, and it's my cross stitch. This cross stitch I got the pattern off of Etsy, as I usually do. And it's from I believe a woman in Russia. And she does a lot of these like round ones so that you could do them in a hoop frame. Now I've never framed in a hoop frame or in a hoop before, because I think it's pretty, but I look at hoops all the time as I'm cross stitching. This is what you use to cross stitch. So I didn't think ever I'd want it on my wall. I don't know. I just don't think of it as a frame really, but I thought I'd try it. And so far I really like it for this one because it's round, so it makes sense in the hoop. And yeah, it has just really pretty colors. It was really fun to do. Pretty simple, nothing, you know, it wasn't too elaborate, no back stitching or anything like that. For those of you who sew might know that. It was pretty straightforward. And I'll link this exact pattern, I'll link it down below in case you're interested. But really, like, if you want to do this, she has so many different, like, beautiful patterns that are around, like, the same size. So you can pick out a different one that you want to do, or the same. But I'll pin the one that's the same. You can just follow her Etsy store after that if you're interested. So the next thing I kind of talked in my favorite things was my favorite book. So last time I was saying how I was excited to read this, and this month I can report that I loved it. So All Things Reconsidered by Knox McCoy, and again I'll link it down below if you're interested. And also, fun fact, my bookmark is another favorite thing. It's my Fauci bookmark. I have a bunch of bookmarks with Fauci on them. They're just fun. Anyways, so All Things Reconsidered is Knox McCoy is a co-host of one of my favorite podcasts called The Popcast. And sorry, I dropped my paper. And he's the co-host with Jamie Golden. And basically what the book premise is, it's a nonfiction about him reconsidering his original thoughts on subjects. So, like, you know, you have things you've been told, things you just naturally think about something, and how he talks about how he reconsidered how he thought about that. And we all naturally do that. We reconsider a lot of things. So it sounds like not a fun read, but it's really fun. So just as an example, 2 things that I think were my favorites that he reconsidered that were hilarious. Oh, it's humorous. So that's the thing that I love. It's totally funny. So the 2 things that I think were part of my favorite chapters focused on his reconsideration over Big Bird from Sesame Street and Joey Gladstone from Full House. They're so funny. And so yeah, so what's cool about these type of books, what I really like is that each chapter is like another story. So if you're not a big reader, what I like about these is that you can like read a chapter, put it down, 2 weeks later, if you want, pick it back up, read the next chapter, and you're not lost. So I like mixing these into my reading pattern anyway. So I was really excited that I liked it because, you know, I was really excited to get it. So I'm happy I really liked it. So again, I'll link that down below. My favorite thing I purchased was, and I had this in a previous video, you could probably have seen me wear it, is my new face mask. Now we have to wear these now, and I've worn mine since they kind of said to wear them. But now it's kind of required in California and like just in a lot of states. And so I thought if I have to wear one, I'm gonna get a collection because I have a variety, ones that tie behind that I actually really, really like my tie behind ones. And so I thought, well, I'm gonna get some more. So I actually have another one coming, but this one right here loops over the ears and it's embroidered and it's almost like a linen. And I got this off of Etsy as well. So really, really love it. I thought about making one, or even just embroidering a plain one, because I do know how to embroider. I do know how to embroider and I could figure it out. Or I thought, I could pay someone who is probably more talented than I am and would do a better job and I don't have to stress about it. So that's what I decided to do. So yeah, so I love my mask. And I have, like I said, I have another one coming, another version. So we'll see how that one works out. But yeah, my mask. We wear them all the time now, so might as well, you know, have a variety. It's like clothing, you know. If I had the money, I would totally match it to each outfit. I'd be that person. That person might annoy you, but I would be that person. The next thing is activity. Like what, besides I'm always doing my crafts, I'm always reading, I'm always like watching a new TV show. Like what was different? An activity I really enjoyed doing is a couple of times, like probably a handful of times I've had my niece and nephews over to kind of like watch them, or, you know, like while my sister, my brother-in-law are at work or doing something, they'll come over here and we'll hang out, we'll do stuff. And what we've discovered that we love doing together is my Legos. So these are some of my Lego sets. I'm always going to be a kid at heart, but if you don't know, I love art history, architecture history, and I love Legos and puzzles. So my Lego, like it's Lego architecture are some of my favorite Legos. So I pointed out that I have these, they'd never seen them before and super excited to build them. I have a bunch more that they've built, outside this room, and we just enjoy building them, and they want to build them all and like display them. I typically build them, have them out for like a week and I'll put them away, but it's kind of cool that they've built it themselves. And so, we have a couple more sets to do, but they have, like, other than that, we have some other ones out. So it's been nice to pull those out. Those aren't cheap. So it's nice that they have found enjoyment in making them as well. So yeah, so those are something that we really like doing this month. Yeah, it's kind of, you know, it's like a puzzle. So it's really enjoyable. The next thing is, and this is the last thing I'm going to go over, is so we are in this quarantine, stay-at-home order, whatever. We've been doing this for a while, and mine is kind of coming to a close. Life is kind of starting back up for me. For the most part, we're still supposed to stay home as much as possible, but like life is kind of heading that direction of going, you know, back into society, less in your house. So one of the things I finished up was the beginning all of this. I started writing a journal every day, and I titled it My Journey Through the Coronavirus. I didn't actually ever have the coronavirus as far as I know, but this is like a journal daily that I did of my life during it, of like what we went through. I would write things like what I did that day, maybe anything major in the news that had happened that day, things like that. So through this whole span of time that I've been doing this. And it is going to be interesting, I think, in even a few years to read back for myself to see like what life was like, because I think we kind of forget, you just live your life and you kind of forget things. So I'm really excited I did this. This is not something I typically do. I'm not a journaler at all. I like, I'm just not. I just don't do the writing. That's so boring to me. But I forced myself, and I did it every day. Did not miss a day. I think maybe I missed one day, but I did really well for me, I'd say. And so I finished that. So I was really excited and I finished it on my birthday on June 23rd. I finished it because I figured that was a good day just to kind of end it from what was happening in my life. And I thought this would be good. And so I kind of made a note of that saying like, all right, this is it. Coronavirus is still going strong, but my life is continuing. Things are continuing or starting back up. So that's the end of the journal. And then, if something were to happen, I can always restart it or something. But yeah, so also, I don't know why I started this when I started it, but I made a paper chain for every day we were in quarantine. I started this back on March 16th when I was basically told by work, you need to go home until we tell you to come back. I started it, and let me show you. I'll try and get it all in here. So every day I put a loop on. Why? I thought it would be interesting in the beginning. And then I follow through with everything I do. Well, not everything, but I try and follow through. You can see, all paper chain. So it follows March 16th to June 22nd. June 22nd. And I wrote each day on here, and if it was a special event like Easter, I wrote Easter on here somewhere in here. I thought it'd be interesting to see how many days we were in this, and it was a cute idea in the beginning. And then this is kind of sad when you look at it now, like, man, there was a lot of days. It was a lot of days. But I have a lot of recycling to do now, and I can pull this away and not have to worry about it. I thought about taking each one off as one day is like I'm back to life, like each day, and then count how many. Then I was like, that's ridiculous. I'm just going to not and say we're done. So that's my paper chain. So that's done, and I'm happy that's over. It's another less thing I have to worry about. I mean, you start these things. I start these things thinking it's gonna be so much fun, and then, whatever. So this video has gone on way too long, and I apologize. So I appreciate it. If you've stayed till the very end, please give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I hope to do one again next month to talk about what I enjoyed for the month of July. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks for sitting through this. Again, all links are going to be down below. Hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and like the video, and I appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.